Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. My name is Crown, and today I'm going to read you some very interesting stories that I hope that you're gonna love. And now, without further ado, let's go!
I've always been a bookworm, and my favorite place to spend a lazy weekend afternoon was a cozy little bookstore near my apartment. The shelves were filled with an eclectic mix of genres, from literary classics to obscure indie novels. I love to browse for hours, discovering new authors and occasionally striking up conversations with fellow book lovers. On Saturday, I headed to the bookstore wearing a casual outfit, a plain red t-shirt and jeans. As I was engrossed in reading the back cover of a mystery novel, I felt a light tap on my shoulder. "Excuse me," said a woman, looking a bit flustered. "Can you help me find a book for my book club? We're meeting next week and I'm supposed to bring a suggestion." I glanced down at my red t-shirt, realizing that it was the same color as the bookstore employees' uniforms. I couldn't help but smile at the mix-up. "Actually, I don't work here," I replied, "but I'd be happy to help you. What kind of books does your club usually enjoy?" The woman explained that her book club preferred contemporary fiction with strong female characters and thought-provoking themes. As an avid reader, I had plenty of suggestions that fit the bill. We wandered through the fiction section and I pointed out a few of my favorites, describing their plots and explaining why I thought they would be a good fit for her book club. The woman listened intently, her eyes lightening up as I mentioned each title. After some deliberation, she finally settled on a novel that had made a significant impact on me when I read it last year. She thanked me profusely for my assistance. "I can't believe you don't work here," she said with a grin. "You're so knowledgeable about books. You should consider a job in a bookstore." I laughed and replied, "Thank you. I'm just a fellow book lover, but I'm always happy to help someone find their next great read." As we parted ways, I felt a warm sense of satisfaction. I might not have been a bookstore employee, but I'd managed to share my love of literature with someone who appreciated it. Sometimes a simple misunderstanding can lead to a beautiful connection between strangers, reminding us of the importance of kindness and the power of a shared passion. Backstory: My mom has a herniated disc in her spine from an accident while she and my dad were moving, which made a headboard from their bed slam into the back of her seat long before I was born, so she uses granny carts. Also, she's very overweight and turning 59 in July. We were going to get her pain medicine she ran out of, and also our groceries, so my mom had me go in and get the granny cart for her and had me run around the store grabbing things for her. After a minute of one of my go-get-X missions, I hear someone clear their throat behind me. I think I'm in her way, so I step back to let her get past, and she clears her throat louder. I look up confused, thinking maybe I backed up in front of her cart by mistake, and she hands me a list and exclaims, "Finally! I've been trying to get your attention the whole time, you lazy girl. You really shouldn't be helping out one fat lady. You have other customers, you know." I get confused. I look down at my clothes to see if I'm wearing anything remotely like a Kroger uniform. I'm wearing a black tank top with colorful flowers, unicorn, PJ pants, and brown sandals with my hair down. "Are you talking about my mom?" I ask, and the lady, business suit, heels taller than me, black get your manager cut. "Just because she's your mom doesn't mean you should only be helping her." "What are you talking about?" I'd like to add now that I'm 5'2", blonde, jumpy. I look like I couldn't hurt a fly. It should be noted I have borderline personality disorder and lots of anger issues, and I was already in a bad mood because of this entitled parent. She spoke slower and louder as if I was slow. "You need to help me. Do your job, you lazy fat girl." I got mad. This lady couldn't be that much older than me. I turned 20 in June. I was being rude and condescending, so I matched her tone. Do I look like I work here? I'm wearing pajamas. She gets offended and demands to speak to my manager. I work for Papa John's a ways away from the Kroger, so I called my store and asked my coworker to get whoever was in charge of the store. My luck, it was my favorite manager who loves me. I hand the phone to the lady who starts blowing up before my manager can say anything about how I was being rude and tried to assault her, which I hadn't up to that point, but I was thinking about it, and he just patiently waited. And when the lady stopped, he just went, Ma'am, are you talking about a small blonde girl with pink in a bit of her hair? Yes. Ma'am, she doesn't work at Kroger. This is her manager at Papa John's, and she's off today. I can't do anything to help you. She got more mad than threw my phone in the ground and grabbed my ear and pulled me up to the help desk. I pushed her arm off my ear and she started screaming like I broke her arm. The manager comes out from wherever he was. I've spoken to him before at my Papa John's. He's a regular. He asks her what the problem was. This little brat employee of yours assaulted me and refused to help me. I demand my groceries be free, and she pay for my medical bills. The lady's arm wasn't even red where I had pushed it off me, and I'm pretty sure I didn't actually do anything to hurt her. Ma'am, why is her ear bleeding? I was defending myself when she assaulted me. Wait, my ear is bleeding? I honestly thought it was sweat because, well, it's hot here in the south. The manager handed me a paper towel from behind the help desk, and at that moment I started to notice a stinging. Miss, she doesn't work here. No, she does. I saw her helping out that fat lady. She brought her one of the cards and was getting things for her. Lady, I already told you that's my mom. I was helping my mom and that's really rude of you to say. Shut up, you little witch. Ma'am, I will not tolerate you using that kind of language, especially in front of a minor. Actually, sir, I turned 20 in a little over a month. I don't care, I want her fired. I had enough at that point. I don't work here at all, lady. You asked for my manager and threw my phone on the ground and broke it when I got him on the phone for you, and you dragged me over here by my ear, which is now bleeding, and started screaming when I pushed your arm off. I was just trying to find some Gatorade and you got up in my face because you think you're better than me. I can tell just by looking at you, you're living off a cushy job that daddy or mommy got for you, and you don't know how to actually do anything for yourself, and you clearly don't have any common sense or politeness in you. You were probably brought up in a rich family who always bailed you out of trouble and taught you treating others like trash is okay. Newsflash, the world doesn't revolve around you, and just because you want me to work here so you can get me fired for not helping you doesn't make me work here. I'd say use common sense. I am not wearing a uniform, but my dad always said if sense were common, then everyone would have it. You just prove him right. At that, she hit me, and out of reflex from my 2 years of taekwondo, I punched her in the solar plexus, knocking the wind out of her and making her fall out of her stupidly tall heels. The cops got called and she got charged with assault and avoiding arrest. Not sure how she thought she could outrun police officers on those shoes. The manager tried to give me a coupon, but I refused because seeing an adult toddler throw a fit while getting hauled off in a police cruiser was actually fun. I will have to go to court to testify pretty soon though. I refused medical attention. I don't have insurance and can't afford, so currently at home in my living room with a bandaged ear. So this just happened on my lunch break as I drove to the other side of town to cash in my scratcher. By other side of town, I mean across the invisible border that separates areas that can sell scratchers and areas that can't. Tribal grounds do not sell scratchers or lottery tickets at convenience store. I drove to this place because I wanted a soda and some snacks. You know, a healthy lunch for a teacher, and usually don't go here unless I want/need lottery. It's a cool looking little mom and pop place, but the second I stepped in, the cashier just gave me an icy stare for some reason. A little background: I have 3 of my 5 children on the autism/Asperger's spectrum, and though I myself was never diagnosed as a child, I can guarantee that I have similar tendencies, and I have a feeling that my lack of proper eye contact might have something to do with the cashier's high noon stare. A realization that came to me the second I typed it. As I was walking into the place, I contemplated cashing the scratcher. $5, yay! Right away, but decided I'd wait until I got my stuff and then cash it at the same time. In this indecisiveness, I found myself fumbling around in my pockets and feeling to make sure I had my car keys, a nervous habit that I have. I probably check once every 15 minutes, whether I'm at home, on the road, or sometimes even sleeping. I can't tell you how many times I checked my pockets, but I can tell you that someone staring at me increases the frequency. I picked my items mentally, but yet again checked my pockets to see if I had enough change plus the $5 to pay for the items. It felt like I had enough, and I want to use this as a math problem for my students. If I had 17 coins, only dimes and quarters, and it was a total of $3.05, how many of each coin did I have? Is I return even? I'm deep in thought about this problem when I hear yelling or something that sounds like blah 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 police. Love you like a father, John Mulaney. I look up and see a lady right in front of my face. Oh heck, that'd be horrible in a bank robbery. Presumably repeating herself, saying, "Empty your pockets or I'm calling the police." She didn't have generalized pronunciation issues, but she for some reason super emphasized the in-syllable. Just don't know how to properly depict that. It was borderline funny, and I kind of laughed as I started to comply. Simultaneously was the moment she took her gnarly little smoky fingers and dug her nails into my arm. She had to reach up. I'm 6'3", she's not. I like to consider my pain threshold pretty good, but this chick was seriously hurting me, trying to drag me to some place. I just went along with her, told her calm down here, as I pulled super sharply away from her increasingly painful grasp. She yelled at me again, "Empty your pockets!" And then to some empty air, "Call the police!" Time for some malicious compliance as quick as I can manage. I took this moment to think to myself, oh heck, I better empty my pockets right now before this gets out of hand. It was already way out of hand. It just took me a beat to realize. I quickly started emptying my pockets, which had 32 pieces of a ripped up scratcher. 3 receipts, 2 of which showed me my hours at Mindy's, 1 was to a car wash or something, my wallet, a straw wrapper. It was everything I took out of my pockets. I smacked it on her checkout area individually, saying, "See, this isn't your crap, and this isn't your crap. This, oh wait, no, it's also not your crap." And when I got through almost everything, I skipped a few with the scratcher pieces, and finally ended with the scratcher I was going to cash in there. I realized that I was acting out of anger and physical pain and should probably take it down a notch. I took this opportunity to thoroughly enjoy the dastardly malice inherent in placing an assortment of ripped up papers upon a counter. Her entire counter was covered in absolute garbage, mixed with about 5% of the surface area representing stuff I need. I'm a chipmunk, what can I say? Now she's got a mess to clean up, but that's just the beginning. I then started emptying my shirt pocket, which had my teacher ID, my pens, my whiteboard marker. Yes, I keep all this in my shirt pocket. And yes, I wear a button-up chap's shirt over my jeans. I then put my arms spread out, as if to say, "Would you like to check anywhere else? I'm clean." She just kept shaking her head at me, shaking her head to someone off in the distance, and then the cops rolled up. I can't believe she actually called the police, or had someone call. As the car pulled up, I just couldn't explain to you how glorious this was. Because we, the lady and I, both had satisfying grins on our collective faces. Her because she thought I was done for, and subsequently told me, "Now we'll really search you." And me because it's none other than my school's SRO, resource officer, who just so happened to get the call somehow. I was bleeding through my shirt, and I could feel it. I don't know how this was even scientifically possible. And if I read someone wrote this, I wouldn't believe it, but swear to God she broke the skin through my polo shirt. What in the actual hell? Anyway, Officer Gold walks in, and I was about to let on that I knew him by addressing him by name. Thank God I didn't, because not a good look. But he beat me to the punch by saying, "Davis, you holding up another liquor store?" Was that dopey smile he always has. I told him, "Hey, I emptied my pockets, you're willing to search me, just..." But he interrupts me. "Rich, that won't be necessary. I can see your pockets are empty. Did she watch you empty them? Is there a camera?" He just continued rattling off his cop spiel, the sun beaming through his glasses from the opposite side, offering a ray of hope, then turning to the lady and saying, "Ma'am, can I ask you a few questions?" At which time he returned to me, about to tell me something when he sees my arm and says, "How the hell did that happen?" I thought, yeah, you might want to check the camera on that one too, but just looked directly at the lady to indicate the answer we both already knew. He then turned to the lady and told her to follow him, had her perp walk to the outside of the store, when immediately a kid came running out to her defense with a steady stream of energy drinks clumsily clunking behind, and Gold turned toward him and had him sit down next to his mom on a curb outside. By this time, a second police car had arrived at the scene, had an exchange with Officer Gold, and Gold spoke with the mom, while the new officer came to talk with me. She asked me the typical questions like when I got there, whether I'd been there earlier in the day, I hadn't, if I knew her or the son before today, and so on. I guess thinking about it, it wasn't exactly a streamlined series of questions, but whatever. The truth is like a priceless gem surrounded by muddy crap. The face on Rosie when she realized she was the one about to go with the police instead of me, now that was priceless. I saw her sitting in the back of the squad car, and she was repeatedly shaking her head in anger, flailing about, and she had a flood of tears flowing down.
And now we have reached the end of today's stories. Thank you for watching and see you next time.